one aspect you talk about is quality. Now, talk to us about what design quality is. How do you define it when we say we're gonna, improve the quality of design? What do we actually mean by that? It's a very murky concept. Sometimes we try and define it or put some measures on it. From your perspective, what is design quality?
Hmm. So just like software, quality is often measured in terms of how many bugs does it contain. And design can contain bugs as well. And we call them just like bugs, and you can report them with the team, and they can be fixed. There can be depth, which is another thing that can be removed, raising the opportunities for quality. Because if you don't need to drag along bad stuff with you while you're trying to create something new, if that depth goes away, then you're more free to create new, better, faster designs. Um, so it has comparisons to development, but there is the sort of the softer qualities of quality aspects of design quality, um, that you can only call it bad quality if you've defined what good quality is, or what at least a baseline is. So a lot of the work in raising quality is first determining quality, and that means determining what we stand for. And what we stand for are, again, two different things. It's what we as a team stand for, the team of designers. What do we feel should be made? And then there's the product quality. What aspect, what is a good product? And that's not just determined by designers, that's the corporate strategy. Where do you want to play? Do you want to be like a low level has been, or no, also have like what is called like a player that's in the lower end of the top 10? Or do you want to be the premium brand that's the triple A, whatever? That determines also the product company wish for quality. So
Mhm.
there's many aspects, but it starts with setting a baseline, and a baseline is what do you as designers feel should be made, and what does the company feel should be made, and
Yeah.
then you can start finding ways to measure whether whatever you're producing is below or above quality. Or
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. So defining quality and then finding a way of measuring it. So we have like a bar and we can see whether what we ship is above that bar or below that bar.
yeah, and
But
that can be,
Vanessa,
sorry,
yeah,
the finding ways to measure it can be through bugs, can be through regular reviews, can be through customer feedback that you get. There are many ways to start collecting data that says we're at or below or above the bar.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Vanessa, what's your perspective at Durham and at Kazoo? How did you go about upholding design quality? How do you think about it? Tell us a bit more about
Yeah, I definitely agree with Peter, right? You need to kind of define what design quality is, and then kind of have have metrics that you can kind of identify how you're tracking and trending. How historically I've kind of done it is essentially you have OKRs attached to it, but it also needs design ops. I think needs to ladder up to the business objectives, right? So it's almost like, why does design ops exist in this company? Why do we need it? And what is the goal of design ops? And through that, you have different measures, OKRs that come through that. And like any other team in design or across business, you report on those, and you ladder those up, I would say. And I think we can talk about a baseline of quality, but that quality will change on from company to company. So, it might be about bugs, but also quality might also be included in how consistent is the experience across the board, right? How how do we also, we don't talk enough about QA, but how much has design system and design ops actually saved time in that QA kind of area, and engineering time, and all of those are metrics that can not actually just add to quality, but also talking the efficiency as well of design ops and what design ops is doing. So I think it's very important, especially in design ops being seen as kind of like a support function for design, to have those metrics and to report on those metrics regularly and have something that's transparent. So have a dashboard or something that's transparent, that so that people can see what design ops is doing and the impact. Because I think even though we call it design ops, it actually has an impact on a lot of teams across the business. And I don't think we talk about that enough.
Definitely, definitely. Design ops is not just about design, it's about, powering the, entire organization and supporting the product organization. When the triad collaborate together, not everyone is called a designer, but they're all designing together, right? Yolanda, I know you have high expectation of quality. I know that when you join your organization, you often tasked with making sure that the quality is really, really high. How do you approach that job when you come in and you need to really elevate the quality of the work? What sort of, first of all, I guess, like, how do you assess it? What's your perspective on it? What do you put in place to try and keep the quality really high? You're on mute.
I'm so sorry. There was noise in the background. So first of all, you have to assess the quality of why the company thinks that maybe the quality is low. What has given them to think that, or to come to me in the first place to say, Yolanda, you need to fix the quality, right? I need to understand what do they see as quality and why that quality is being questioned. So once you understand what that understanding of the C-suite, the exec, the marketing team, whoever is putting that quality in question, where is it coming from? Is it because sometimes that quality is delivery? Is not so much the work in itself, the output itself, but the way it's being delivered. So there are delays, the communication is poor, I don't know, whatever there might be. That makes people, other teams or part of the organization think that design has no quality, is a part of like working practice. You can fix that in a particular way. If what happens is that the output is of low quality and you have done, or what I do sometimes, most times I do an audit and ask some of the IC designers or some external company to do an audit of design to see one of the basic variables of quality is consistency, right? And it's one that most companies break. You see apps, you see websites where layouts are all over the place, grids are all over the place, fonts are all over the place, and you wonder how is it that maybe in a site that has 5 sections, 2 of them have a different font or different size for fonts or different margin or different footer, or suddenly the color palette has gone awry, or it has 7 different pull-down menu designs, and so on and so forth. So that immediately, creating that audit, you can see where your consistency and the quality of your work has gone wrong. And talking about it every day, right, is a discipline. Quality is a discipline that needs to be enforced and talked about and shown and discussed on a daily basis. So having constant creates weekly meetings, monthly meetings where quality gets discussed. Look, guys, this that appears here is not okay. Or layouts or grids are all over the place are creating this situation. Or font, let's agree that, I don't know, title font is going to be 21. Let's just keep to it, right? And calling people that is no. So it depends very much on what type of quality we're talking about. But in every case, finding out first what quality of, what kind of quality is being pushed and questioning, then do an audit of that situation to see what is the level of, that needs to be fixed, and then put the processes in place to fix that problem is the right process. But talking about it and upholding it high and showing examples of it on a daily basis is what gets that quality slowly up.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it starts with mindset and setting high expectation, and then having it on the table and it's discussing it on a regular basis to make sure that you kind of like this expectation of quality spreads throughout the design organization.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having set up what my previous, they have said, obviously we need OKRs, we need an understanding of what the quality level is required or what kind of quality we're talking about. All of that is necessary. But on top of that, you need a serious audit uh, and a culture of quality and a conversation about quality on a regular basis. Definitely.
Okay. So sometimes the way I think about quality is structure and process. You've talked a little bit about some of the processes or the rituals that you can put in place, but also it's a reflection of how you build your design team and your design organization.